Hey, Rob Lett here. I got a quick investor tip for you. One of the things that I hear investors going back and forth on, specifically new investors, is the approach to being able to find buyers for your properties. And one thing that I've seen people do most of the time, there's a little quote that I used to hear at the very beginning of my career, and the quote was, "It's easier to find a house for a buyer than it is to find a buyer for a house." Let that sink in again. It's easier to find a house for a buyer than it is to find a buyer for a house. Now, guys, let me talk to you for a second, just so you can have something to relate to. You remember when you first started dating, right? When you first started dating, what you did when you tried to buy a gift for your girlfriend or wife, what you usually did is you just went out and you bought a gift that you thought you liked, right? And you went to give it to her. How did that go? Not too well, right? So as you got a little older, as you got more mature, you started realizing, hey, instead of just buying things that I think they would like, you actually did what I call market research, right? You would listen. Maybe if you and your wife or you and your girlfriend were out at the mall, you'd pay attention to maybe what store you were in. When she said, hey, I wish I had one of these, you paid attention to how much it cost, right? So in other words, what you were doing from a business perspective is you were listening to what your market wants. Now, when you went out and bought what your girlfriend or wife actually wanted, it went a whole lot better, right? You didn't have guesswork as to whether or not she was going to like the gift. Same thing here in real estate. I see people all the time trying to buy a house and then trying to see how they can squeeze a buyer into that, right? Trying to make them like it. It doesn't work that way. So one of the things that I always tell people as an investor tip is build your buyers list way before you even focus on buying the properties. Let that sink in, okay? So build your buyers list first. Now, a good way to build your buyers list is you want a contact management system. There's a lot of different contact management systems out there. I'm not telling you which one is the best. It really all depends on your needs. There's companies out there like MailChimp. There's Constant Contact. There's AWeber. I know for people who are really serious about Infusionsoft, and people who are really you got to have a budget for Infusionsoft because it's not something that's cheap. But my point of the matter is you want something that you can really get a little bit more intricate in terms of the data that you collect from your prospects. You want to know, obviously you want their email address, their name and phone number, but further, in addition to that, you also want to find out how much money do they have to put down. You want to find out what kind of monthly payments can they afford. How many bedrooms and baths do they want? Is there a particular side of town that they like to stay on or stay out of? In addition to that, you want to, this is really important, you want to know how quickly do they want to move. Because I see investors do that all the time. They're like, hey, this person has a certain down payment, this person can handle certain monthly payments, but then they forget that this person is in a year-long lease already, and they're not going to be able to buy until next year. So what's the point, right? So one of the things that you want to collect is how soon is this person looking to move. So then you have an idea the next time, once you have a list of money, basically what it is, then when you're actually out here and you're seeing an opportunity to buy a particular house that's the same number of bedrooms, same number of baths, you know how much you can negotiate with the seller to be able to give them a down payment. Now it's almost like you got a perfect match for who your buyer would be, right? Easy. So hopefully that's something that's helpful to you. Always build your buyers list before you actually go and buy properties. It makes the real estate a whole lot easier. You don't have to try to squeeze square pegs into a round hole. All right? Hope you have a good one. See you on the other side.